Board of Public Works for Tuesday, January 10th. Item 1 on the agenda is approval of the minutes of the December 20th meeting.
I'll move to approve those.
I'll second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item 2 is a wastewater treatment facility improvement project with Myron Construction. This is pay estimate number 30. Total pay estimate's in the amount of $24,714. I've reviewed, our consultants reviewed. I would make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item number 3 is discussion and possible action on an amendment to EMCS Incorporated Agreement for Phase 3 final design of the Stewart Avenue from South 72nd Avenue to South 48th Avenue.
Right, so this would get us from up to final design with our STP Urban DOT project on Stewart Avenue from 48th to 72nd. I know there's some discussion about the possible arrangement of the contract, so we probably would rephrase this, Eric, as an amendment to the original contract?
Yeah, I think we would, we'll revise the actual
Okay.
contract that's in here to reflect that this is an amendment
Okay.
to the original.
And I think it was properly agendized, so yeah,
Yeah.
the wording on the agenda is
Yep.
totally appropriate and describes what you're doing. So on Alan's recommendation, or go ahead, Alan.
I guess the price, I think I had 150 budgeted. It did go up a little bit. One of the things we discovered is that the wetland delineation out there expired.
Oh,
It expires every 5 years, so during the design here, it expired. So that's why we have to redelineate, and that's why there's that roughly $10,000 additional to have the wetland consultant come out and redelineate the wetlands. So that's included in this contract. I just want to make sure that that's included, that we know that's included in the contract amendment to redelineate the wetlands.
yep, okay, as Exhibit B.
Correct.
Yeah, okay. Based on that, I would make a motion to approve the additional work up to final design, contingent on the revision of the contract to reflect that it's an amendment to the original. Is that
And I'll second
adequate?
that.
Okay.
Yep.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We have an addendum. It's item number 4, discussion and possible action on donation of a fire safety trailer. You'll see the information in the packet that Solomon has put together for us, and a little bit of the history on this. So,
If anybody has any questions, I can answer them for you.
I did read all of that, and while I have no objection to any of the work that's been done or the donation of it, I don't know that that's the decision of the Board of Public Works to make. To donate city-owned property, I think the council needs to make that decision.
oh, okay, all right.
I just
mean, I
brought it
keep-
here originally just
Oh,
because
sure.
it's a piece of equipment, and
Sure.
that's normally where we go through.
Yeah.
So I just started here.
To purchase equipment, you mean for quotes of fleet and stuff like that?
Yeah, just because the piece of equipment falls under fleet, and I fall under you guys. So I just brought it here first, and if you would like me to take it to council, I can do that as well.
So, yeah, I mean, how would we
I
do
just
that,
become
Ann?
concerned because so much more is coming to the Board of Public Works, and I keep struggling and going back to the ordinances where the council has by ordinance given us authority to administer claims, which we do in closed session. That's by ordinance, they gave us that authority. Otherwise, we've only really got authority over streets and sidewalks. But we do, public construction contracts, we do all kinds of things, and I understand Solomon's reasoning, but
I think one of
I
the
think
things.
if we're accepting or donating city-owned property, I mean, we've got chapter 314 of sale or auction of city-owned personal property. And if we have policies where we can manage the fleet separately from that,
Right.
I would feel better if that authority were delineated, at least by the council, that some policy were updated or clarified where
Yeah.
they could understand and know what, we've just kind of slidden into this, and I just want to make sure that,
Yeah, I
you
think.
know what I mean, that we have the proper authority.
Yeah, I think one of the thing, because like when we like sell property or we, it eventually obviously goes to council, right? But the board kind of administers that process for the sale of property, like with, if we have a remnant piece of property, right, it goes to,
By ordinance, right, sale
Yeah,
of city-owned real
right.
property, and then
Right.
there's sale of city-owned personal property.
Right.
And then there's some
So-
exceptions, like auctions of automobiles, I think the ordinance
Right.
says the finance director can authorize.
right,
Yeah.
But this isn't the auction of a
right, it's a,
automobile.
The don't-
And it's, to the taxpayers, it's giving away city-owned real
Right.
personal
Yep.
property that may have
Right.
value, which, again, I have no objection to it. I'm just not sure I'm the person to be making that
So-
decision.
yeah, so I think we'll have to discuss that, Ann, because I'm not exactly sure from here where it would go.
Well,
How-
finance and council, I would guess.
Just finance.
I think
Okay,
so.
all
Just
right.
because not that I'm suggesting we charge the Ringgold Fire Department. I have no objection to giving it to another department that could use it, but I just want to make sure that we know.
Just because the items here, would it be appropriate to ask you guys for a recommendation to bring it to the next place?
I think that recommendation would come from finance, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I
I
think-
mean, I thought it would come here too, Saul, just because it's property that we have and we're, but I guess,
But it's not in the fleet, is it?
It is.
yeah.
It is.
This trailer is in the fleet. Well, then maybe we should revisit, and maybe I'm just unaware of it unless you can point it out to me, some fleet
Might just be
policy or
unclear.
fleet. Yeah, and our procurement policy mentions that we open RFPs, sometimes
Right.
totally unrelated to public works. That's the other thing that we are
Right.
granted by a policy. But other than that, it's the state statute and then the ordinance where they give us the ability to administer claims without having to go through them. But beyond that, let's work on putting together something where we could maybe propose to the
Yeah.
council that they give to Board of Public Works, either through a resolution or an ordinance, the authority to manage the fleet then.
Right.
Buy and sell anything that's listed under the fleet inventory. That would make me feel a little better, honestly, if we're donating
Okay.
city-owned property.
Okay. Well, we can bring this to finance. I don't think Ann or myself don't have any objections from
Okay.
the board to do that, to get rid of
No,
this.
no, and thank you for your homework,
Yeah.
Solomon. I'm
Yeah.
sorry I
That's all
got
right.
to it this morning, but, yeah, I'd feel better with some of these other things coming forward, and you probably wouldn't need to come to finance either. You've got all your background work in here. Thank you for your work.
I think that was it. Make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thanks, guys.